Sarah Boone's suitcase murder is one of the wildest true crime cases out there. In 2020, she zipped her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., inside a suitcase, claiming it was just a drunken game of hide and seek. But her own phone told the real story, George gasping for air, begging to be let out while she laughed and mocked him. Now she's convicted and spending the rest of her life in prison, and this case has people questioning just how twisted someone can be. Now, today, we have on Sarah Boone's former bunkie, Miss K. She talks about confronting Sarah and how Boone navigated life inside Orange County Jail leading up to her conviction.
What are you guys doing today?
Oh, good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm not in jail with Sarah.
We're alive and we're free, right?
Exactly. I don't have to worry about someone telling me when I can wash my ass.
Hell yeah, it's a great night. YouTube streets.
Amen,
we here.
Now, we first seen you on Takira's 2 Cents, and I'm not going to lie, that was a phenomenal interview. And you two going back and forth, and I ain't going to lie, and when the stuff that you were saying, the details was very good. So I got a lot of questions for you. And this is only the second time you've done an interview, right?
Yes, this is my only second interview about Sarah. I mean, I did reach out to a couple channels that I thought were, kind of worthy. Like Paul, he does the sofa couch.
Okay.
I extended my hand out to him, and then Bruce Rivers. You heard of him?
Yep.
He just lost his
The
son.
criminal lawyer.
Yep. Yeah, he just lost his son.
Yeah,
and I did reach out to him before Michael died. But no, this is my only second interview. I was only on 2 Cents.
Hey, thank you for pulling up. Thank you for coming to the YouTube streets. We appreciate you.
Now let's start here. You said I'm gonna be referencing the other interview, but you said you're 6'1", 240. You are like you can fuck some dudes up.
Actually, yeah. So little side note.
About
I
that,
actually did get in a lot of trouble in middle school and high school. I used to beat up the bullies, and I did a lot of fighting guys in high school because back then I was 6'2", I had a car accident. So I kind of shrunk a little bit. So I'm like between 6 and 6'1". So I used to beat up a lot of guys because I was really tall and really sexy, and black man can't help a thick white girl. So
yeah, tall and beautiful. Right. Yes,
nobody
beautiful.
Can.
And you don't put up with nobody's shit either. So that's a good thing.
No, my mom beat that into me growing up. She actually made me go fight a little girl because she was picking on me, and she's like, "If you don't go back and kick that bitch's ass, I don't care if she got homework or not, I'm gonna fuck you up." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." I went back to her house, I knocked on her door, and I said, "I don't care if your daughter's doing your homework or not. I'd rather fight her than get my ass whooped by my mom. So come on."
Right. So what got you down to Florida, and what got you locked up in Orange County?
Well, I am originally a Midwesterner. I'm from the Midwest, and I just got tired of my home state, to be honest. There was no opportunities out there. I've been an operations manager for a multi-million-dollar company. I've been married twice, divorced twice. I got a grown kid. So I just wanted to change the scenery. My life wasn't going where I wanted to. Jobs were shitty. I was switching jobs every other fucking week, it seemed like. And I just got fed up. So I took off. I went to New York first. And then when the snow hit, because I got stuck for the pandemic, that was interesting. Needless to say, yeah, Brooklyn was like ghost town, crickets.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was around for the pandemic. Like, even the cops are like, "Why are you out here?" And I'm like, "Because I don't care."
Yeah.
So then I ended up migrating south, and I ended up in Florida. And a lot of people do not like my profession, and I don't give a shit if a bitch would open her mouth. And instead of talking and, take care of her man the right way, I wouldn't have a job.
Right. Got you.
So that's how I ultimately ended up locked up with Miss Sarah Boone.
Now, you were locked up 2 times, right? So it's you were locked up 1 time, but there was really nothing there. The second time, she showed her ass.
Yeah, well, that was with her. I've been locked up more than twice for this, my profession.
Oh, okay, got you. And that's what I want to ask you too, real quick. Are you considered a street? Are you street oriented? Are you from the streets?
Yeah, I do. I do a bunch of different stuff, So I am from the streets. I don't like telling everybody exactly where I'm from, but
Right.
I'm from a place where you call the police and they laugh at you and they hang up, especially if there's a gun involved.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to fend for yourself. So I'm a big bitch and I ain't nothing to joke around with.
Eat the beat
So the
eating.
first time we got locked up, Sarah initially had just gotten arrested for this. So she wasn't really paying attention to anybody or trying to do anything like that. She was just in the shock and awe of not intentional, I didn't do it, and blah, blah,
Right.
blah. So she wasn't in her tactics yet. But the last year in April, I got, they said I was doing something and I say I wasn't. I was in McDonald's drive-thru and it was illegal stop. So I got profiled pretty much for something that I used to do. It'd be like a drug addict. You see them at McDonald's and be like, oh, you're still on drugs, and you're accusing them of something that they're not even doing,
Right.
So the cop
Assuming.
lied, and he said that he was going to get me hemmed up for old cases, which he did. That's how I ended up staying there for a month with Miss Sarah, and she was in Pod B.
Okay, yeah. So you explain a lot that goes down during that time, and you said something that was interesting to me. Sarah got favoritism with the guards.
Yes, she actually did. It wasn't all the guards; it was just some of them. I'll give you an instance. Laundry is a big thing. A lot of people bitch and moan that they don't get their laundry done, and just the whites, because that's all they do. They wash uniforms maybe once a week, and then like doing your white clothes, you either wash them out by hand and hang dry them without getting screamed at from the COs for hanging shit around your bunk, or
Right.
you just have stanky ass and wait until the laundry gets done. But she used to go up to the washer and dryer, and she'd have like heaping, like huge piles of whites. So I'm watching because I'm a very observant person. I like to watch before I say anything. If you're from the streets, you do. You look before you act.
Yeah,
That's
two
how you're
ways,
supposed
one
to do
mouth.
it.
Yeah.
Because if you acting before you looking, you're gonna jump into some shit that you didn't expect to do.
Fact.
So I was just watching, and Sarah and the trustees were the only ones doing laundry, and I was like, "Oh, so it's like that." I'm tired of this fucking bitch getting favoritism in this motherfucker. So I walked my fat ass up to the CO, and I looked at her and I said, "So this is how we're doing it now?" She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Can I go get my whites and do my whites?" She goes, "No, no one's doing their whites." I said, "Well, Sarah is." And she looked me dead in my eyes and said, "Someone needs to mind their own business."
Wow.
Now, at
Damn.
this time, there was a rumor going around that Sarah was actually doing laundry for other people, and you kind of addressed that, saying that is a possibility because she was doing a lot of laundry.
Yeah, that is a big possibility because I really didn't see, well, not see, let me back up. I didn't really hear of her getting commissary like that, because when you get commissary, like the person will come to the door and they'll have like a big roll bin, and it'll be just stuffed with bags of whatever, clear bags of whatever the food is that you guys ordered. So when they would roll up, you could hear everybody that got called. I rarely heard her name getting called. So I can absolutely see her doing other people's laundry for favors or food or other things like that.
Now, let's talk about you and your run-ins with Sarah, because you said some of the crazy stuff, like her attitude, like her shit doesn't stink kind of type shit. You said something about a pin, like you needed to get a pin, and she was just being a bitch about it.
Yeah, I was there for I think like a couple days. I'm not sure, because when I first got in there, because of who I am, and what I do, I'm very well known on the street, so everybody knows me. So I don't gotta say shit. I walk into a place, like I came into a Bravo dorm, and they gave me bunk 44. So I went up to bunk 44 because I was on the second floor, and I came down and I just sat at a table. I said, "Okay, well, we're just gonna observe. We're gonna see who walks up to me, because this is what I do." So I went downstairs and I crossed my legs and crossed my arms and just sat there. About 7, 8 people came walking up to me. People looking at their bunks like, "Who's that lady just walking up in here?" And everybody always, talking to her. So I really didn't have much, but I got a pen, and my bunk's upstairs. The phones are downstairs. So I didn't bring anything with me downstairs because you're not supposed to. You get yelled at and whatever. Fucking COs.
Right, right.
So I was like on the phone with a conversation and I needed to write down a couple numbers really quick. And Sarah was at her famous table. And I turned around and I was like, hey, let me see your pen for 2 seconds. I'll give it right back. And she looked at me and she's like, no, you're not getting my pen. And she said it with the snottiest attitude,
Oh yeah, that
sufficient.
sounds snobby.
Yeah, it was the
Damn.
look she gave too. She had like a snot look on her face, like, bitch, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I finished my phone conversation. Somebody else ended up giving me a pen. When I got off the phone, I went out to the rec yard because it's really tiny. It's not even a rec yard. It's just concrete and 4 walls.
Right.
And it's not even a rec room. So I went out there and everybody that I knew, I said, come here. They're like, what? And we walked into the day room and I pointed to Sarah. I said, you see that bitch right here? As long as I'm here, she gets nothing.
Damn. Because
And
you know what
everybody
they
was
say.
like,
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And obviously you felt disrespected.
I did. I felt very disrespected because, there's a way that you talk to people in jail or prison, and there's a way that you don't.
Code of
And
conduct, right.
exactly. And when you don't know somebody and they're talking to you for the very, very first time, and you start giving them a snitty nose attitude, you gotta nip that shit in the bud because if you show any weakness in jail or prison, they will run you over. So I established my dominance immediately.
So you shut her down, say she can't get nothing.
Exactly. So 2, 3 days later, I'm in the bathroom. I think I was brushing my teeth or doing something. I forget what the hell I was doing. I went in the bathroom, I was at the sink. And she comes in there and she tries cornering me. And she's like, I just wanted to apologize for the way that I said that the other day. You got to understand, it's very hard to come in here about pens, and people like taking people's pens and not giving them back. And I'm just looking at her the whole time, like, bitch, you better get out my face because I'll pop your ass. Like, I seriously was not liking the fact that she thought she had enough balls to corner me away from everybody else in the bathroom.
Hey, good night. How you doing, Miss K? This is DVS.
How you doing,
Nice.
sweetheart? We were waiting on you. They said you were a little delayed.
Yes, I was a little delayed, man. Just walking the dog.
Well, that's important. You can't have them shit on your floor.
No, absolutely not.
That wasn't the only time that you had a conversation with Sarah too. Besides the pen incident, wasn't the rumor of the suitcase killer going around?
Yeah, I'm a person. I've been in sales my whole life, and of course, what I do, I don't remember people's names. I remember what you do or little tidbits about you to identify who you are. Because I've met probably thousands and thousands and thousands of people throughout my life. Because I'm an artist too, and I write, and I've done things for people that are underground covers and things like that, albums, and so I've met a lot of people.
You don't remember what people say you do, but you remember how they make you feel. So.
Exactly, that's exactly how I am. Like, I'll remember your face and how you treated me before I'll remember your name.
Word.
So in there, you don't really, if you're not like on other people's level, because I don't associate myself with on their level. I'm not a drug addict. I don't go around killing people. I'm not beating on kids. I'm not causing a problem. I'm taking care of myself. So she used to talk to this chick, Stephanie, and another chick. I don't remember her name, so I don't want to misquote it. And I would talk to them sometimes, and they would always say she's super, super nice, whatever. So my nickname for Sarah was the suitcase killer. That person did drugs. This person's here for trafficking. That one upstairs looks like the shrunken head from Beetlejuice. Like, we made.
It's catchy.
There was another chick that looked like Matilda. I swear to God.
Everybody
So we
got a
had
nickname.
Yeah, nicknames for everybody. So Sarah's was the suitcase killer because that's how I remembered who she was. They'd say Miss Boone or Sarah. I'm like, who? They're like, the one that put her boyfriend in the suitcase. I'm like, oh, her. Okay. So she did it again. Another incident. She came into the bathroom trying to corner me again, and she goes, I heard you were calling me the suitcase killer. I'm like, yeah, isn't that what you did? She goes, but that's not my name. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what you did. I don't remember people's name. I'm not associated with any of you in here. So why would I remember your name? And she's like, well, I don't appreciate you calling me that. And I said, well, isn't that what you did? And she just got really snotty and snippy, and she was just trying to any way she could like take control of the situation, and it wasn't happening. I was just so annoyed. I was just looking at her like, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pop her right in her fucking face.
Facts.
Like, she's not backing down, and I'm not liking this, and I'm feeling like a rat in a cage here, and I'm a bite.
So did you ever like put your hands on her a little bit, just a little pop in the mouth or anything like that?
I wish I would have, but no, it's not worth an extra charge, because you don't understand. If you're in there for something and you catch extra charges, whatever date you thought you were getting out, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to occur.
No, I get that. I get that. I mean, I've done.
I'm in there for a misdemeanor. She's in there for a Class A felony.
For the rest of her life now.
Right. And the crazier thing is I think we lived around each other, because the Publix and the liquor store she's talking about, the condos around my house, you can walk right to the store.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, you definitely probably seen her.
Yeah, it probably did. She's probably one of those people that I saw her and I was like running the other way because I thought she was a Karen. I'm like, nope, not doing this. Nope. But Sarah was one of those people. She was more of a sneaky quiet, because she knew that there was consequences in there, right. But she still got away with a lot of shit. Like, I know she had more than one drawer. She was constantly getting yelled at about her things, and you need to call someone and put them in storage. And she's like, but I need all this stuff, and nah. So she get a lot of attitude.
My bad, but I just wanted to say, was she like passive aggressive, or did you ever see her get in a fight with anyone?
No, she's always passive aggressive in there.
What was the thing with the cheese?
I don't know what they're talking about with the cheese, because in there they give rotten food. Okay, so say it's the date's 4/16, they'll give you food from 4/12.
Right.
And it'll be labeled on the bag, the lunch bags. So when you're in there, everybody like hoards food, because they feed you all weird hours. The portions are not even enough to feed a child and make a child full. And there's no taste, so you hoard whatever you can. And to be honest, cheese is a big trader in there. Like, you got cheese because you want to put it on your tuna or your fish or anything like that. So, I mean, if she was hoarding cheese, I don't know. I mean, she did talk to people, but she was one of those quiet talkers. You really didn't see her getting after anybody unless she was like hovering over them. She was a hoverer. And like, she would go up to the CO and you would see her quietly talking to people, like the CO, and then somebody would come up and she'd get that, that look that she got with the lawyer when he was trying to adjust her microphone. That's the look that she gets with everybody. So like, if she's talking to somebody and you interrupt or something like that, she like gives that dirty ass look like, what the fuck? And anytime she don't get what she wants, there's instant attitude. Like, I've watched her talk to a CO, and then you could tell it wasn't going the way she wanted to go, and she'd get that frown on her face and she'd just start huffing and puffing, and then she'd fastly walk away.
Wow. So with all that acting, acting better than, and all that attitude, I'm surprised nobody ever put hands on her.
No, because not yet. No, okay, she's in prison. There's a big difference between jail and in prison.
Facts.
Okay, in prison, I've never been there, but trust me, I've seen enough documentaries. I've known people that be there. I see it. So in prison, guards really don't do favoritisms like that. You're in a 2-man cell, or if you're bad enough, they put you in a 1-man cell. When you're in jail, you're in open, it's like a big ass open room. I sent you the diagram.
Yeah, like a dorm.
Yeah, do you have that diagram still? I drew it out, and I even put where Sarah's bunk was. I think she was in bunk 3. She was the closest to the wreck, and she had a favorite table. She's a little snitty about that one too. So there's a table that's right by the stairs, and that's closest to her bunk. And what she'll do is she'll take all the chairs except one, because those little plastic little white chairs, and she'll move all of them except one, and then she'll put all of her paperwork, all of her books and everything all over the table, and she'll sit there, and she won't let nobody sit with her unless she actually talks to you. Okay, yeah, there's the diagram. You guys see the diagram?
Yep.
Yep. And we see Sarah's all the way on the top right.
Yep, and this is the bottom tier. I didn't draw the top tier because it's just bunks, so it's nothing really goes on up there, because if you're
Right.
caught outside of your bunk area, then you actually get reprimanded. So you'll see the stairway by Sarah's bunk. That first table right there between the stairs and that phone booth, that was her table.
Oh wow.
Oh, right near the bubble.
Right.
Yep. It was right there by the stairs and right by her thing. So that was her table. She always sat there. She only ate with two people when she did eat, because I didn't really see her get up for breakfast like that. I don't think she ate that nasty shit for breakfast. I don't blame her. I wouldn't eat that shit either.
Right.
So who was in 1 and 2? Who was in 1 and 2 bunk?
Who was that?
And I asked because did they like how is it set up where you're from? Like I know like if you got the back of the dorm, like if you got the back beds, that's who's running the house.
How you have this paper is exactly how it's set up. So when at the top left corner, that's the door to enter the dorm.
Yep.
Okay, so that's B dorm, because across the hall is C in between the two racks. So you come in right at the top, and then the CO's desk is right there. There's only one CO. And then all the bunks are complete opposite of the doorway. So it makes it harder for someone to escape.
Got it.
Right.
So this is the exact layout. So then you got the door, the CO desk. Right next to the CO desk, there's that thing that it's got like those 4 things. If there's 3 phones and a kiosk where you can order your food. And then you got the rec yard, and then bunks 1 through 14. The showers are cold as shit, and you have to flush the toilets to get hot water in the morning.
Damn.
Yep.
So you'll be yelling in the morning at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, flush the toilets, flush the toilets.
Flush, yep.
So right there where that divider is in between the showers and the bathroom. There's that line there. That's like a divider. And then there's more phones there. So I was in the bathroom. So like when you're in the bathroom, you're the CO, you can see to a certain point, but Sarah's so fucking short, you can barely see her if like she stands in the right position. So, and I'm a tall, big bitch. So you just sitting there and you just see me, and you see me looking down, talking to somebody. You think I'm talking to myself like I'm a weirdo.
Right. 6'1". You were 6'2" before your accident. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was supposed to be 6'4". Say that again.
How tall is Sarah Boone?
I believe she's between 5'2" and 5'5". So I got a good almost foot on her.
Oh wow.
Right, and she's probably, when she first got in there, I know from what they said, she was like 105, if that, and she can't be no more than $140 right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
you gotta imagine, she's like 5'2", 5'5", $140. I'm 6'1", and I'm like between 240 and 280.
Holy shit. You're a big gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can shut shit down. Yeah.
Exactly, and
Right.
that's the thing that baffles me. You look at me, and then you look at everybody, her or other people, and I'm like, why would you even try me?
So that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to paint this picture because I'm just trying to understand like how you felt pressured by her, because I know she's got to feel some sort of like, or put off some kind
Well,
of
she has main character syndrome too. No
Yeah,
responsibility.
celebrity
Yes.
status.
Of
I think
course.
she
Yes.
felt on herself.
It's hard to
yeah.
get through to nothing, right? So
Right.
Pretty much. No, it's just because the way she talks and her demeanor, she's very intimidating. Believe it or not, for a small stature, she actually can make you feel very uncomfortable. When she cornered me in the bathroom, I was very uncomfortable.
that's what I was
And I
trying
was
to get at. I was trying to get at this. Yeah, no, that's That's good
I
stuff
was
to
sitting there. I'm
feel.
like, Jesus, God, I'm gonna have to do something if this lady don't back the fuck up, because she making me feel super uncomfortable right now. Like I need to leap. Like,
Now, her crimes, was that something frowned upon in the jail? Because it sounds like she had kind of like a pass.
Mm.
Okay, so when you're in jail, the biggest things that are frowned upon is children and olders. So
Gotcha.
like a lot of people like elders. Like, so if you're fucking
Yeah,
with
you don't
kids,
mess with the minors or
pedophiles,
the elders, right?
right, or beating on people, stuff like that, that's the ones they really care about. Nobody really gave a shit that she killed her boyfriend.
Right,
Yeah,
Like nobody was intimidated by her. From what I seen, I know I sure the fuck was intimidated by her. I was uncomfortable with her trying to
right,
square up
right.
with me in the bathroom, but no means necessary. I was
Now,
not intimidated by her at any
now,
point.
did you get along at any point? Did you have any conversations? What would that be like
Well,
for
I
you?
did try to go up to her one time because, I'm a very inquisitive person and there's nothing else to do in jail. The books suck and I've read
Right, right.
enough. And I was like, you know what? Let me go see what the bitch's problem is. I said, is it true that you stuffed your boyfriend in a suitcase and killed him? And she looked at me and she did have snotty attitude and she goes, if I won't even discuss that with my lawyer, why would I discuss that with you?
Yeah, that's crazy that you bring that up because earlier when you were calling her the suitcase killer and you said, well, that's what you did, she said, yeah, but still, I don't like the name. It's almost like she admitted to it in a way, you know what I mean?
not denying it,
Yeah.
not acknowledging it is almost like admitting to it.
Right,
Yes. Yeah. So she didn't deny it in the bathroom. She just got pissed off that I called her that.
right,
So then when you ask somebody about their charges in there and when they don't tell you, that's when you start fishing. But everybody knew what she did, so I didn't have to fish to find out what she did.
right,
But
right,
that's the people that to go back on your question previously. Yeah, we find out what you're doing. If you lie about it, we go find out. You don't want to tell
facts.
us, we go find out. And if it's something we don't like, you getting the fuck out of this dorm. You getting the fuck away from us.
Now, how
Something's
do
gonna
y'all do
happen to
that?
your
How do
ass.
y'all get them out? Y'all drop like weapons on them. Y'all drop snips. Like y'all beat them up, get them out.
No, I mean we just you can beat their ass, or you can just make it super uncomfortable and make sure that they never get anything in there because you're not trying to catch another charge. That weapon shit, that's more for like prison. I'm not gonna lie, I
Right,
did put my lock in my sock and almost beat a bitch's ass, and I had to check myself and take me downstairs and tell the CO to go get that crazy bitch before I smacked her in the
right.
face.
But
But
sometimes you could just tell somebody to get up out of there too at the same time, you know?
Right, right.
yeah, and some people do
Roll
because
it
they
up.
know that their charges are
Right.
not going to be
but you gotta have
sufficient
some
for.
moral
That guilty
uh,
conscience.
and have no yo. I don't want to catch a charge shit because if you're really gonna do it, you got to do it with fuck a charge, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna let you have everything. You know what I mean? You're gonna get up out of here. You know?
I'll give you for instance this chick. She was in there. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was this Indian lady, and she was lying about why she was in there. She kept telling everybody that she was in there because she was getting charged for supposedly kidnapping her own child, and the courts didn't recognize the custody or whatever. And I came to find out that she was beating on her brother's children and her own children.
Mm.
So I actually started giving her an extra hard time in there and making things very difficult and making her very uncomfortable. And because I don't take kindly to anybody beating on a kid when I was beat as a child.
Yep. Same here. Same here.
Hell yeah.
When you
So
were
when I found out what she
Respect.
did, I made her life a living fucking hell the whole time I
Right.
was there. And that's what we'll do. We'll make you super uncomfortable. We'll make you get to
Facts.
the point where you want to
You
get
don't
the
want to
fuck
be
out of
there.
there.
Right, right.
Yeah, you make them sign in. Okay, all right, there. That's another way to do it. That's effective.
Yeah,
did
because you
you
don't want to necessarily catch more charges, especially if you're in
Right,
there for a misdemeanor or some bullshit you getting out for real quick.
right.
Yep, yep.
You're not trying to be in there an extra time because you found out
Respect.
someone was doing some shit. But if you're feeling some type of way, especially when it comes down to kids, I don't play with kids.
Yeah. And you always gotta move smarter, know how to, you know what I mean?
I was
Mm-hmm.
actually gonna go in on you, Miss K, a little bit because I'm used to Rikers Island settings, and I forget that a lot of these states, especially like Florida, they've had camera systems in the pods and the dorms for quite a few years now, right?
Yes.
So I can see how you think like that. That's absolutely okay to think that way, because if you're gonna get jammed up, because in New York City, Rikers Island, you can do some crazy shit and you can not get caught. Like you can
Yeah,
get
that's
away with it.
because in certain places, like I even know somebody in MDC, Brooklyn, New York, where P Diddy is. They do things different in prison. They lock you down a lot. They do shit on purpose to piss you off, to try to get you to catch more charges.
Well,
So
he's
if
in
you got to,
federal jail. I think he ain't in prison yet.
Yeah, he's in federal. I mean, he'll be in federal prison.
He will be in
Uh,
federal prison though. Yeah.
yeah, but Rikers Island is a world of its own, and
hmm
I have to get out the mindset of comparing that to every other state, because I realized that things are a lot different in other states. They make y'all move a different way. Um,
yeah, and jail is way different than prison. Jail's more like just a
Yeah.
waiting space until they figure out what to do with you, if
well,
that
Pit
makes
stops.
sense.
Rikers Island is a jail. It's a county jail for the 5 boroughs. So
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
Rikers Island
That shit is
Exactly.
Legendary.
ferocious. Yeah,
it's
It's
a
it's
crazy.
nation of
vicious.
its own,
Vicious.
Right. It
That's
is.
all I know. I don't know any other counties. That's
Yeah,
all
he
I
was
know.
locked up with Wayne and shit. Miss K, I gotta ask you something really real right now because this is a rumor that's been going around. Did George's family? Did you hear this rumor? Did George's family put a hit on Sarah Boone's head?
Now, I never heard about any of that, but I could see it because George, believe it or not, where we lived is a predominantly Spanish community.
Gotcha.
So, with that being said, and you never know what he was really associated with in the streets. There could have been a reason why he had to be where Sarah was and he couldn't be in Philadelphia or with his family. So I mean, I don't know. It's touch and go.
Right.
Yeah, because they said that George's family was definitely connected, in a sense. And you said that too. That you, when you went to county jail, you had some kind of aura around you where people knew that you were with the shits.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, when I first came in there, I put my stuff in my bunk and I sat down at the table. I didn't know anybody in there except maybe one or two people. So I just sat down. And I had 6 or 7 people just walking up to me. I had other girls sitting in their bunk looking like, who the fuck is that? Because everybody's walking up to me. I commissary on my first day.
Yeah, you walking up like you established already.
Exactly. So when I walk up like I'm established already, everybody's like, who the fuck is this bitch? Don't worry about who I am. Trust me, I got enough clout in this bitch. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Hey,
It's not my first rodeo.
Do you think
I'm
Sarah
good.
deserves life in prison? Because she had an option to choose a 10-year deal. She didn't take it.
Honestly, yeah, I do. I don't know. You watched my interview with her, so at the end of the day, if I was Sarah Boone, and I'm putting myself in Sarah's spot, I just found my boyfriend dead. Okay.
Mm,
Regardless of how this happened, he's dead.
right.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not calling the police to tell them it was a great day. We were having fun. We were playing. We were doing this. We were doing that. Once I woke up and I found out that my boyfriend was dead and I'm drunk as shit,
Right.
I'm calling 911 and I'm letting them know, like, hey, I only remember bits and pieces of last night. I know that we fight and argue a lot. I know that we beat on each other. I don't know what happened. I know we were drunk as fuck. And I know I woke up in my bed and I couldn't find him. And when I did, he was in a suitcase.
Mm.
That's being accountable. She couldn't do that though.
Exactly. And
Accountability,
that's
right?
why the judge gave her 25 to life, because not
Mm.
one way, shape, or form has Sarah ever showed any remorse
Not in
for
no fashion,
doing it.
right?
Her big thing is it's not intentional. It's not intentional. Bitch, you sat there, recorded him saying, fuck you. This
Right.
is what you do to me when you cheat on me and I can't breathe and da 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 da. And then the recordings were what, 11 to 15 minutes apart each. So he was already in there for a good half hour, maybe hour. God only
Wow.
knows how long that man was in there before she actually started recording. And with
Right.
his injuries that he sustained, it's
Right.
impossible to sustain those injuries through like a suitcase or something hard, because you got to figure there's plastic inside the suitcases
Yeah,
to
it'd be hard
keep the
to protect
shape
it.
and the form, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna punch you in the face and you put a book or you put something in the way, the impact is not gonna be as
Not at all.
direct
Right.
as it would be as if I'm just gonna fucking smack you with this damn book in your face and you just
Directly.
gonna
Right.
take
Right.
it.
Well, listen, right? You say she got 25 to life now, right? We all know that. And with your
Yes.
experience and her with her in the past, right? Do you think she got it in her, or do you think she will kill again?
I can see her fighting again. She too hot headed. She takes everything too personal. If
Because
I
you know,
know,
eventually she's gonna come across the wrong one, and it's only gonna end one or two ways. It's gonna be one or the other. So you think she got it in her
Facts.
do it again?
I don't think she's got it in her to fight. No.
No, I'm
I
talking
think
about
she's
taking
more of a
another life. Do you
verbal
think she
alter.
will take another life while she's in there doing life?
It's
She didn't
hard to
really take
say.
him.
That
I
yeah,
don't
you
really
blew
see.
that. I'm
She didn't
kind
really
of. I
take
don't
him like.
know.
I don't know.
Because
I don't see
listen,
what she did to
because
take him. Like,
some people might not fight, but some
yeah, that
cowards will
sounds crazy.
stab you just to avoid a
I see
fight.
what Ronnie's saying. He's saying basically Sarah has a weird way of killing people, and is there a possibility she could do that while she's going to Lowell or
It
whatever
doesn't gotta be a fight.
facility?
It can be poison,
Yeah,
I could see her maybe with the things that she says could push a person to the point to want to do something to themselves. Yeah,
Wow,
Oh wow.
because of the way her demeanor is and the way that she
that's
speaks
deep.
and how entitled that she feels.
Right.
And just the way that she tried to intimidate my big ass. Like, bitch, it was over a name. I can
Well,
only
that's my
imagine if
point. If
someone
she would step
farted
to
at
you,
you.
right? If she would step to your big ass over practically not much, right? Who's to say what she could or would do to somebody else that was in a worse situation with her? You know what I mean? That's all I'm
she
saying.
knew not to mess with you because look, she knew that you were intimidating
Uh,
first of all, and you can do the. You said you got the lock in the sock. She
Sarah
didn't want no
definitely had
smoke.
the upper hand, man. I'm just being real because
Yeah, no, she
she has
smelt
nothing to
it. She
lose.
had it.
She has nothing to lose, and I believe that she understood the predatorial skills that you need to have when you go to prison, right? So
Well, I think that she was in jail watching her P's and Q's, because when me and her had our altercation back in April, she still had a fighting opportunity in her brain. You see, now in her brain, she
Oh,
knows
right.
that she's
She
stuck in
wasn't
prison
hopeless
for the
then.
rest of her life, so she don't have to mind her P's and Q's now. They
Right.
because when you get life, when they give you a sentence, and if it's life, 25 to life, no possibility of parole, they do not let you go back to where you just came from. They will immediately move you from wherever you are and put you somewhere else. Sarah didn't go back to B dorm that day. She went to K dorm. And from what I heard, she was already doing some bullshit and getting in trouble with her little group that she conformed over there. They were already trying to get somebody kicked out of the pod.
oh, she was
Right.
running the
Not
house.
minding the
I
pikes and
was trying to
cross.
ask earlier, man. She sounded like because those cells over in that corner, man, seemed like that would where
Well,
somebody
they're
would.
not cells. It's all open bunks.
Yeah,
Okay,
they call it an open bay, DBS, open
Open
bay.
bay, like a dorm,
so top
almost like a
floor.
dorm. Up
I
here we
get
It
call it
is a
dorm.
dorm. It is a dorm.
Yeah.
There's
this is dorm.
64 beds, 64 or 66
Well, that little corner
beds.
seems safer than anywhere else in that fucking whole place for me. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be there in the day room. I wouldn't want to be near any.
Right,
I
right.
would want to be tucked away in that corner if I was gonna be on my bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because honestly, like the cameras only reach so far, and they do like shoot over to the bunk areas, but it's harder to see on the top. So
Mm,
we've had plenty of incidences where girls have just jumped over the top bunk and started beating the shit out of each other. You know what I'm saying? But well, you can obviously see that.
right,
But
right.
when you're in the bunk area, if the CO is not paying attention, you're on the top tier or you're in the right spot on the bottom, you can get away with a lot of shit. But where Sarah's bunk was, the CEO could directly see right in her space, her area, everything. So she was always being watched if they were paying attention.
Yeah. No, for her, it seemed like that would be the safest spot. But she kind of accumulated a crew. So she kind of fortified.
Well, no, that's done and over now. And then they moved her to K dorm in the jail, and that's done and over now. So now every time that they move Sarah, she has to come up with a new clique, a new group, a new following. Because you gotta imagine,
Right.
she don't know nobody in prison right now.
Is it
Well,
easy for her?
probably now she does because she's been there for a couple of months. But when she first got there, she didn't know no COs. She didn't know nobody there. So that
Well, she was at reception for a while, so I think she might be at Lowell now. I'm not 100% sure.
because reception is the intake center, so they gotta observe her
Right.
behaviors to see if she's got to be on suicide lockdown. Because a lot of people that get life, they choose to end it because they figure, why am I going to stay alive for the rest of my life? I'm going to die in here.
Right.
And other people choose to sit there and, huh?
Wait on a new law to be passed. Some kind of hope.
Classification.
Yeah, it's a classification center, and
Right.
they say whether you can go to work or not,
Right.
and other things. But with Sarah, I don't think they're gonna let her work for a long time or do stuff. She really didn't do anything. She was more of a, I'm in my paperwork and I'm quietly talking to people, because you would see her like outside talking to cliques and stuff. You never heard like
Right.
a boisterous, loud Sarah like you would see in the videos, because she knew better. And she was playing her cards, trying to the right way. Now that she's in prison or going to prison, who only knows what she's capable of doing at this point? Because all gloves are off. She got a life sentence. She knows she's not getting out. And if she gets in trouble, it's no big deal. What's she going to do? Go sit in a cell by herself like she likes anyways?
Exactly. And that brings me to what I was going to bring up. Her relationship with the gods. Did you notice anything about that? I know you said there was some favoritism, but anything deeper you think, or maybe potentially in the future?
I don't know. I never seen her really buddy up to them like that close.
Right. Okay.
A couple of the people in there, I could have seen her like being, I guess they call it gay for the stay or whatever. But she did have somebody she was intimate with that was in there for trafficking. I think her name was Christine or something like that. And that was before I got there.
Oh, she had a little shawty?
Yeah, so I believe it was right before I got there. The chick had got out, and they were there together since Sarah got locked up. So they were there together for like 4 years. And the other chick, I think she finally fought her case enough, or she won her case or something, and she got out.
Interesting. Wow. I didn't know she was gay for the stay, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that out from Mrs. T, the 2 Cents channel. I found out some juicy information from her. She was letting me know that she was gay for the stay, and her name was Christine, and she was there because she was asking me if I seen any of that while I was in there.
Right.
And I told her I didn't see any of that because, like I said, Stephanie and the other chick, I seen them talking and stuff, but she wasn't really like up on a girl like that. Like she'd go to the backyard and walk around and talk to some females, and then
but sometimes you gotta hear something first to see it deeper. So after you heard it,
well, don't get me wrong, I've seen some shit in there. You know, there was a couple girls.
Yeah.
You go in the bathroom and one will act like they're taking a shit, and the other one will put their legs a certain way, and they'll be making out on the toilet. Like you just you don't look. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah, man. The women prisons and women county jail is so different, and how Sarah Boone's like adjusting to it is pretty crazy. You know, Sarah Boone. You know, she's
sounds like she bubble bossing. She bossing in the bubble.
Yeah, she's trying to.
I don't know. You got to figure she ain't got nothing else going on for the rest of her life. What is she gonna do but cause problems? She has nothing. She lost everything. Even now, her ex-husband is fighting to cut off alimony completely and get sole custody of the baby.
Yeah.
She's still collecting alimony?
Yep.
Huh?
She's still collecting alimony?
Yeah, I believe so.
No.
Oh,
he stopped paying alimony. I think last year or the year before, and he has been fighting with her in court about this, and she's getting pissed off because they won't let her get an investigator or show up and do a in-person mediation to revise the what is it, the alimony and child support, and
Right.
then the custody. So what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to get it where he gets sole custody and alimony is completely cut off, because he let him know, like, I'm not paying her no more, she's in jail. Why does
Right.
she need to be there? She's not taking care of our son. I was paying alimony so she can help take care of our son when our son was around, but she's not there, and neither is our son. So I'm not doing this. I'm not giving her no more money.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree.
So that's a big battle that they've been going through for they're months and months now. They're still going through it. She's still
Wow.
writing letters and fighting. And from what I heard, she has another attorney, appeals attorney, for this, because she's fighting the sentence.
Right.
Yeah, good luck.
Cause she got she got such a high profile case. I'm surprised she wasn't a target. But did you ever see anybody do the opposite? Maybe try to get close to her for that reason?
Mm, no, because Sarah's so awkward
Mm.
that you don't want to be around her. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For
It's one of
sure.
them people that you like, you walk into a store and you try to strike up a conversation with the employee, and then the employee starts talking and you're looking like, I'm just gonna be nice and get my stuff and leave.
You kind of just learned the first time, right? Not to
Right,
bother.
yeah, just like, yeah. It's not, she just makes you uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation being around her, no matter what. Even like when I tried to, the one time, I guess you call it nipping it in the bud and
Mm.
striking up a conversation to keep the peace, because I don't like animosity and I don't like
Right.
feeling like I have
Negative
an issue with
energy.
somebody.
Right. Yeah. You want to clear that up.
Especially if we in a confined space and I gotta live with your
You
ass.
can't avoid them, right? There's only so much you could do.
Thank you. You get it. So when I caught
Right.
myself trying to have that conversation with her, talking about, well, is it true? Did you really do it? Or,
Right. Right.
and other things. And it's an attitude. Everything is an attitude. Anything that comes out of her mouth
Mhm.
is met with attitude.
I see that. She's like a
Interesting.
spoiled brat. That's the way I look at her.
Yeah, snobby. That's what I took from it too. Snobby, almost.
Yes, and I made this comment on the 2 Cents channel, and I'll make it again. No one, it seems, in Sarah's life has ever properly made her pay for any consequences
Mhm.
or
Mm.
held her accountable for anything that she did. Her grandparents, her mom and dad, even her ex-husband was still allowing her to get away with
Right.
drinking and not taking Lucas to school and doing this and doing that, and fuck, she was living in the home and went across the
Yeah.
street, and that's when she met George and was fucking George during the marriage.
Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. Accountability. You know.
Yep, exactly.
And
She's a
that's one thing
complete
that I don't think Sarah will ever have.
narcissist.
Miss K, I'm gonna have your YouTube in the description. I'm also gonna have it on the screen as we leave too. You have a TikTok as well. I'm gonna promote too. Listen. This was phenomenal. You answered all my questions. Now, boys, if you got anything else to ask her, go ahead.
I just got one thing. Do you wish
Yes.
you would have whooped her ass when you had the chance, or no?
Uh, I don't know. It's a toss up. It's in my mind.
There's
It's
no way
not
to get
worth
away
the.
with it. There's no way
Not even
there's like
worth it.
there's you know what I'm saying. There's no way in that dorm to get away with
I don't
anything,
think she.
right?
I don't
No,
think she would
no,
learn
not
anything
because of
anyway.
the camera angles and the CO's always looking around, and it's hard to get away with anything in there. I mean, like, you can, but you got to be super sneaky. Like, one chick ran a commissary store. Like, she would
Right.
get all this extra commissary and she would trade it, sell it. The guards knew about that. They could have shut her shit down. She had 3 drawers, but they let her do it. It's favoritism in there. So
Scandalous.
I didn't want to be in a situation where I was going to be there longer than I already
Right.
had to
Right.
be.
Now I hear you, and
And
I respect that.
I mean, I could have slapped her. It probably would have made me feel better, made me
Right.
smile, but then I would have had
Maybe
to
at the
beat her
time.
ass.
Right. Right.
I ain't got time to be getting tased and pepper sprayed.
I
they're
I hear you
they're
there.
quick to pepper spray you in that motherfucker and cuff you up.
Hey, Miss K, we appreciate you riding with us, man. YouTube streets.
Yeah, Miss K, you've been very sweet, very informative. Everything you've
Facts.
been saying, it actually
Thank
you
you.
checks out with the other interview too, and the YouTube streets. We ain't gonna lie to you. We'll come with some crazy. We'll come with some hard questions, but you answered everything I had for you. I appreciate you. How about you, DBS?
No, yeah, I think you're pretty down to earth. I'm digging your vibe. I wish you would have put hands on her just a little pop in the mouth, maybe. You know what I mean? A little, uh, you know, push to the wall or something. I don't know. But she
I
does
mean,
say
I
she feels
thought
it.
about it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I did think about it because that was the
Let's
second
go.
time she cornered me in the bathroom, and I'm like, this bitch is just not gonna stop, is she? I'm gonna have to smack her. But then I ultimately am a person, unlike Sarah, who thinks about my consequences
Right.
and takes
Right.
responsibilities for my
Respect.
actions.
Respect.
And I did not want to have to deal with an extra charge and being there longer than I had to
Right.
be.
I respect that.
I respect that and I appreciate that answer. And again, thank you for pulling up and riding with us, man.
And
It's
we,
Especially.
not a
hey, well,
problem. I appreciate you guys reaching out.
and when
And
we go
I,
live,
I
anytime you see us, we drop the link.
Yeah,
If you see us, come up and
yeah,
hang
we
out,
might have
man.
to do a part two. There's so
You got to
much,
do
you know.
some true crime content.
Yeah,
No,
come
for
by
I
real.
was
anytime.
thinking about that. A lot of people, when I did Miss T, I can't pronounce her name, so I call her Miss T. Her channel, the 2 Cents channel. You know, there's a lot of controversy about my mouth, but I'm one of the realest people you're ever. Sorry, my cat's yelling. He's horny.
It's all
He's
good.
a virgin. I won't let him get none. I told him I can't afford kitten
That's
support.
hilarious.
Oh,
So
he
is DBS.
crying.
He wants it so bad, and
He's
I'm like,
in
no, baby,
agony,
no.
poor thing.
Sounds
I'm
like
so,
Wade
well,
Wilson.
I'm not gonna cut his balls off because he's horny. That'd be horrible,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. But anytime, if you guys need anything, I watch True Crime everywhere. I just came across you guys' channel when he hit me up, when Dylan hit me up. So, um, as you
Hey,
see, you know, I'm open, I'm kind, I'm nice. I'm an artist
hmm
too. So if you guys need everything drawn or anything, you know, I'm here.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
that's what's up. You
I'm
on
simple.
Instagram and
I'm
stuff,
me.
or you wanna promote anything or drop, you know?
first
I'm
Well,
off,
having
my
quick
TikTok
my
question, quick
here.
question,
artwork
quick, quick,
is
quick question, quick question. What were your charges? And if just I didn't ask this in the beginning, but like, what have you been locked up for before?
so. I've only been locked up for 2 things in my life. One was disturbing the peace. When my kid was 6 months old, a crackhead threatened to kill her. And I called the police and they didn't do nothing about it. So I went down there with a baseball bat. I didn't hit her. I just threatened her. And I told her that if she didn't shut the fuck up, that the bat was going to go so far up her ass, the cops weren't going to know where she stopped and it began. And then the other a couple times that I went to jail for Sarah was just because I enjoy giving men satisfactions for a living, and
Yeah.
I'm the reason that men don't go to jail because
Right,
if a bitch would open up her mouth more instead of running it and
right,
suck his
right.
dick and make him dinner, there would be less problems. My
Oh,
motto
so
is
you playing the role right. Okay.
yeah, a blowjob a day will keep the cops away.
Facts.
Whoa,
So that's what I went to jail for. They said I was being a whore. I said I wasn't.
Scandalous.
shit.
Scandalous squad.
I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't bother me. I've been married twice, divorced twice. I'm never getting in a relationship again. I'm not
Hey,
breaking
we all
anybody's
adults
heart.
here, Miss K. I hear you.
Hey, listen, man. To each his own, man. Live
When
your
it
And you
life.
comes
know,
to money,
I can
I
see
just say put in my
if it was
pocket.
my problem, but it's not my problem. It's not my problem that a man can't go fuck his wife and he's got to come fuck me.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
Or
Hey, that's
it's
some real
not
shit now.
my problem that she's not doing her job and maybe he wouldn't step out.
Damn. Getting
You gotta
real.
do better, man. There's gotta be a better
Scandalous.
mentality and a way
Well,
better
I
way.
mean, if you think about it, if a woman would suck his dick before he went to work and had a meal on the table when he got home,
Yeah, man.
crime would be
Gotta
down
keep
because
the
he would
dick
think
empty and the
I'd get the
belly
blowjob
full.
in the
Keep
morning
the
and a
dick
meal on the
empty and the
table at
belly
night.
full. Yeah.
I
And you're
don't know.
still in Florida? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
And
I'm
That's
take the
the
still
only
in
thing
money,
that can
Florida.
make a man
put
It's
in
too
my
happy.
cold to be up
pocket.
north right now. Did
Man,
you
he's not
not
too
see
bright.
Detroit is underwater and in the snow?
Hey, that's real now.
YouTube streets.
I am. I can't deny it. I'm from the States.
She belonged to the streets, but you don't belong to jail. That's some real shit.
Nope, I
Good
don't,
love
because
for
I
the
know how to
king.
get myself out of those situations and I know how to avoid going to jail. I don't know
Hey,
what you're talking about, officer. Was it me? It was the one-armed man.
hey, shout
Oh
out to
Yeah.
Miss
shit.
K.
You was in the fucking line. I use that shit all the time, man.
I don't know
Hey,
what you're talking
hey.
about, sir. I can't see. I can't
Hey,
hear.
It wasn't
K
me. It was the
Slay.
one armed man. Listen to me.
Denial is more than just a river in Egypt, baby.
You know what I'm saying? K Slay. I fuck with you. K
Hey,
Slay.
no, she real though, huh, Ronnie? She
She
real as
real. I
hell.
fuck with her. I fuck with her.
And she
I
keep it
keep it
above.
a buck with you. I'll fuck with you.
Well, I mean, there's too much fakeness,
Mm.
and I've always been a person, if you don't like me, I don't fucking care. I don't. Because you're
Hell
not
yeah.
feeding me, you're not fucking me, and you're not putting a roof over my head. So what purpose do I have for you?
Oh, that's bottom B status. I like that. Salute. Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Because nowadays,
Facts.
if you don't do what you got to do and you let somebody run over you or talk to you in any kind of way, these people are going to eat you out and shit you for Sunday.
Cold hard facts. It's a cold world. You gotta bundle up.
And
Get your
then everybody
bundles
wants
up.
to sugarcoat shit. Sugarcoating shit is where we at with all these fucking faggots in America.
Ooh, I like that. I don't
Yeah,
like faggots, but
Sugarcoat
I
shit got
like calling them
motherfuckers
out.
thinking they're fairies, and
sugarcoating
I
for
go
the
by
bacon.
I go by
Yeah.
fairy. Call me a cat. No, bitch, you're a
Mm.
human being, not a fucking cat.
I identify as a pussy cat.
Right, like come on now. Nick Avocado,
Pussy
I
cat doll.
identify as skinny. I am skinny.
Yeah, I just seen an interview with some chick that was a big girl, no disrespect, but she was like, I'm skinny in my mind. That this shit was crazy. It's going viral right now. Anybody see that shit?
Well, I'm a big bitch. I used to be
Yeah.
495 pounds. I've lost over 200, so I can
Nah,
make
but
fun
you
of
own it.
anybody that's
You
fat
done
that I
said
Oh,
that
want.
you
two,
look good,
three
Miss K.
times.
I seen
Thank
pictures.
Yeah.
You
you.
look good. Yep, very good.
And that's what happens when you actually get control of your life and you stop letting people hurt you. See, during my first marriage, I let him hurt me mentally, emotionally, and physically to the point where I ate myself to 495 pounds. And before I got pregnant with his kid, I was at 230.
You're definitely hotter than Sarah.
And shit, that bitch ain't got shit. Oh, she was dealing with a tiny little scrawny dude. Get your ass beat every day by your mom and anything that your mom can grab, and then tell me about it.
Oh yeah, there was one part in the interview where you said that that you kind of wish George would have hit her that night.
Yes, actually, I did because I just like watching things around my neighborhood and stuff. And since I was locked up with her more than once, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna dig deep into Sarah because that bitch pissed me off in jail. So when I was doing my dig deeps, I was seeing the video of her berating him when he was in the hallway. Now you have to think about this in your mind as a man, and I think about it from men perspective and women perspectives. From a man perspective, if I know that there's a sleeping dragon in the other room and I open up that door and try to crawl under bed, I'm not going to poke the dragon to get the fire.
Mm,
So that's why George was sleeping in the hallway with no blanket, no pillow, and half naked because he was drunk and trying to avoid Sarah's wrath.
yeah.
So
Some
when
people
she
find
came
it
out
very
there,
warm under the wing of a dragon, you know?
yeah, it's like poking a sleeping bear. Let him sleep. Just go sleep somewhere else and freeze. Leave the cave alone. Um, so when he came up to her after she was berating him for a good 5-10 minutes and screaming at him and everything else, and he turned around, I was rooting for him. I don't condone violence, okay?
Right, right.
I'm a big person. Keep your hands to yourself. Do unto others as you want done to yourself. But
Yeah.
I really did want George to smack her in her fucking face. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, "Come on, George, do it. I give you permission. Just pop her one good time. Tell her to shut the fuck up." I wanted to smack her in the video and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I think we could
She's a
all
demon.
agree fighting is one thing, but taking a life is a whole nother thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she constantly pushed George, and it's not even like I can see that, maybe he did push back every now and then. But to be honest with you, just from the videos alone, even like when she recorded him beating on that TV, he was out of breath. He could barely swing the bat. You know what I'm saying? I think that she used
Right.
his PO against him. And oh look, just like she tore up his birth certificate. Look at the control I have. You need me. Da da da. Don't make me call your parole officer. So I think those times that she did call the police on George, and they were drunk, I think that those were defensive marks on Sarah from George defending himself. If you want the
Wow.
truth.
I can see
And
that
then
too.
because she had marks on her because he was trying to stop her, I think that's what happened. I don't really think that George was actually beating on her.
Wow.
If you want a
Yeah,
woman's
yeah. That
perspective, because I've been in a very, very, very abusive relationships. You know, you are not calling the police on somebody that just whooped your fucking ass if you were in a domestic violence situation because you're going to be afraid that they're going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I've
And
I,
been
most
I can
there.
likely
see
you're
I've
I
gonna
can see
make
her
up
struggled.
later.
using the situation to take advantage of him emotionally, mind fuck him, emotionally get him in a place where
Yeah.
she's in charge. Like that's crazy to rip up somebody's birth certificate and say like I kind of own you. You know what I mean? Like you fucking belong to me now. Like you're yours.
Yeah,
You
and
know what
that's
I
what it
mean?
was. I think it was a big power dynamic with Sarah. Like she had the control over George, and because she's a small woman and he's a man, the cops are gonna believe her
He was
over
pretty
him.
small though too. He was pretty short. Pretty
Yeah, they were only maybe 10 pounds different. He was slightly bigger than Sarah.
wow.
I think she was maybe 98 or 105, and George was just slightly bigger than her because they drank so much that they didn't eat.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Because
Living off
trust
the
me, I
liquor.
know. I went on a drinking binge for a while, for about a month, and I lost a shitload of weight.
Yeah, they start living off the liquor.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
look
because
at starts
you
living
don't
off
think
of
about
them.
that food no more. You're thinking about your next drink. Fuck
That
eating.
devil, that devil water, man. Them spirits,
Facts.
man. That liquor starts. Ooh, yeesh.
Yeah, but Sarah's problem is more than just the devil water. It's her soul. Like I think she
Mm.
It's a
honestly
combination.
struggles.
Absolutely, she is nasty though. She is a meanie. I saw
She
and
struggles.
I
She
heard that
thinks she
fucking
demonic.
video. That video was wild, man. That was so sadistic and just like I can see what she. I can see what you're talking about vividly. Like I can see how the way you painted that picture, I could see the nastiness and the actual like trying to fucking irk his soul kind of thing, like really being mean and nasty.
Yeah,
And
man. She
that's what
was
I
saying
thought
she
it was all the
struggles.
time. I do. I think she has such an issue with feeling like she is alpha in
Right.
every situation,
Or
that she
better
don't know
than.
how to properly be an alpha without making everybody else uncomfortable.
Right, right.
And that's exactly what she did to George. I mean, I hate to say it. I know he wasn't perfect and he probably did smack the shit out of her. And you know what? From the videos, I'm glad he did get a couple pops in there on her ass.
Mm,
Nah, that's not a good thing, man. That's probably what started this whole shit. They probably added fuel to
mm.
the fire. You don't do that. Just get
The
the fuck
biggest
out of
thing,
there,
though, I
man.
think
Get
was
up
just the
out of there.
drinking. It was the drinking
Right.
because you got to
Dependency
think
too.
about it.
Dependency with each other and
Hmm.
beating that bullshit because whatever he was
Codependent,
lacking,
yeah.
Hmm.
she was giving him, even though it's fucking hardcore abusive kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
and
forced
it,
that's
into
why
it
he
was
took
religion.
it because he didn't have too many other
yeah,
options.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Ooh.
Cold
And don't
world,
even think
man.
about getting into a shelter. Florida, I don't know about shelters in Florida. I see so many homeless people everywhere. It's retarded. I have
Yeah,
talked
it's
to homeless
crazy.
people, and I had a homeless guy tell me, no, I'd rather live this way.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Shelters are sometimes shelters are worse than jail. The shelters they have in New York City, that shit is worse than Rikers Island. I bullshit you not. I
Well, the
stay in
Yeah.
Rikers
shelters
Island
in New York City
and I'll be in
now
the shelter.
used to be different before the pandemic hit.
No,
They weren't as full or as bad. And then when you had the pandemic, it got worse. And then when the migrants came over, and they turned all the hotels into shelters. So
Yeah.
they're not even really shelters, they're hotels.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
talking about that shit. I'm talking
a
about like real
hotel
New
just
York
got
City
raided
shelters,
out
like
here, full
for
of migrants.
I'm
They
talking about
found all
like
kinds
for
of
the
drugs,
residents of New
guns.
York, like dudes that are coming home from jail and ain't got no place to go. They're going to a shelter and they're going to Wars Island or Bellevue. And I'll tell you right now, both of those places are worse than Rikers Island. I'd rather
Yo,
be
listen.
out.
Out here in Boston, they just raided the shelter with full of migrants. They found mad fentanyl, guns, drugs, weapons, money. Shit's
Yeah,
a
same
wrap.
out
They
here.
shut that whole shit down, and now they ain't doing that. You know what I mean? They're readjusting all kinds of shit over that. It's
Crazy,
crazy.
man. They're gonna cast their nets and they're gonna get who they're
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to. This is all
poetry in motion, player. Big bone
determined
Harley Quinn for the
decades
win.
ago.
I'm not gonna lie. The last time I went to New York and I couldn't even get a hotel room for my stay, I said I wasn't coming back.
I
And I
hear
love
you.
shopping in New York, even though it's expensive as shit. I love shopping on Jamaica Avenue with all the stores in Queens. Oh my god, it's the
Should have
best.
got an
But
Airbnb. That's why they kind of like they upchucked the Airbnb.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they made everything 10 times more
that's
expensive
like
because
downtown Boston. You got to go to like Newberry Street. It's all mad expensive, or you can go downtown to the hood. Chinatown is different.
yeah, New York got ridiculous. That's why I stay away from New York now.
I hear you. I've been to New York a few times, but I'm gonna have to go soon. I got to take a trip up there, link up with DVS.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes because, like, they need to change a lot since the pandemic hit. Even
Yeah,
Manhattan, Times Square, a lot of shit's just shut down. A lot of
yeah,
businesses
shit
lost
different.
their.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not the
right.
same. It's
Yeah, it got a different
totally
vibe.
different.
But I'm trying to go to a whole nother spot in the hood and shit. So I ain't really. But I hear you though. Like if you're going out there, especially back in the day when I was younger, I went there on music business and I rocked the show out there. And we were out there selling CDs, handing out. It was just like we was in Times Square. Shit was crazy. People everywhere.
Oh no, when I went, even normally, like, even no matter what time you go, day or night, like there's people there. When I went to
Oh,
Times
facts.
Square, it was like I think 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. There was maybe less than 10 people outside walking around.
Yeah, I was in a limo handing out CDs at had a dope hotel. Did a show out there. It was lit.
yeah. So when the pandemic hit, I was out here on my motorcycle on the highways. I was like the I Am Legend movie by myself.
Yeah, facts.
Swear to God, it was like I felt like
No, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but if you look it up, if you have an Android or smartphone and you go to the store where you download things, I want you to look up a game called Plague.
I think I heard of this game. It's supposed to be
It
like an
actually
apocalyptic game,
gives,
right?
yes, it actually gives you the power to create deadly strands of
Mm.
mutated viruses and everything
That's
else to wipe
crazy.
out the population. And that game has been out since way before the pandemic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that just made my stomach turn
And
almost.
the
Yeah,
whole
facts.
goal is to try to kill the United States and the country and the world as fast as possible.
That's crazy. I was on my dirt bike on some. I'm out too. That's how I split my shit last time, man. I had to dump my bike coming around the corner. Somebody almost hit me, but yo, it's crazy. I seen a lot, man, during the pandemic, the Boston bombing. A lot's changed. I mean,
Well, see, what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm a realist. My dad was Army Special Forces,
I
so
seen martial law out here during Boston bombing, yo. I seen martial law
a
full
lot of
effect
these
practice.
the Boston bombing, the school shootings, the pandemic, they're all diversions for what's really going on. That's all it is.
Distractions. We say it all the time up here. The distractions are
It
real.
is because you remember they just announced UFOs, right? If you go to my TikTok or my YouTube, I posted them years ago.
Yeah, and they've been preparing us up, like kind of
I
warming us up
actually
for
have
that, like with
videos,
TV shows and movies. Yeah,
but no, I have videos that I took of Orlando, Florida, by the Florida Mall, of a UFO flying.
Oh, the two aliens that came through the portal.
Yep, that one. But there's another video that
Send that
actually.
to Dylan if you can. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I will. He just texted me and told me he had a dip, but yeah. If you guys check, I'll send the videos to you guys. As I recorded them myself, I edited everything through, but I
hell
have the
yeah.
originals where you can see like that's not edited, and I didn't do anything but put a sound into the video. That was it
Oh, nice.
because I wanted to keep the authenticity.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, I
That's
say that all the time up here.
And then when
Authenticity.
my original pictures, when you zoom in, you can actually see the entity. In one picture, it was like chunky, and its legs were down. And then the second one, it was moved in a different spot in the sky, and it was elongated, and then the tentacles were moved. So I see some weird shit, doing my
Yeah,
job.
that
You
sounds
look
like
up a lot.
Casper's uncles, Fatso and Stretch. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're real. I'm about to send them to Dylan, so you guys got them, so you can check them out. I'm going to send the original videos.
Hey,
That
we
way you
Thank
check
you
appreciate
so
you,
it.
Miss
much.
K.
Appreciate you, Miss K.
Yeah, we appreciate you
So we
pulling up and
get
riding
back
with
on
us,
the
man.
show. I'm digging your vibe, man. I'm digging your vibe.
Yeah, I fuck with you. I don't want to keep you too long. We'll let you go, but hey, thank you for pulling
It's
up
been
to
a
the
pleasure.
YouTube
It's been a
streets.
pleasure.
It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you for your
It's
insight.
not a problem. And remember, if you overshare as an adult, it's because you didn't get to share as a child.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
YouTube streets, Ronnie Blue Eyes, Miss K, DVS, Stuck in the System, Scandalous Squad, and we out. Peace.
Thought you tell these niggas shut the fuck up.
I got drunk and locked myself inside a suitcase. I was looking for the goddamn toothpaste. Sarah Boone is my first mate. That's my first mistake. Yeah, this life she take. We was both so tipsy. I was screaming out, baby, unzip me, yeah. She was saying, please don't hit me. Baby, I can't breathe, baby, I can't breathe. You could've let me out, you were just sitting there, drinking on another beer. Yeah, you ain't never cared. Even all these lawyers trying to see the real you. Think about the shit, bitch, I could've killed you, but I didn't. Drunk emotions that I only felt for a minute. I didn't mean to hurt you, baby, I just wanna hit it. But I would never kill you or take you out the picture. I packed myself to heaven and you was the one delivered. Let's talk about the Sarah with the messed up liver. Let's talk about the Sarah that is a bad sister. Let's talk about the Sarah that be staying so spoiled. That's why she can't keep a man or a damn lawyer. I got drunk and locked myself inside a suitcase. I was looking for the goddamn toothpaste. Sarah Boone is my first mate. That's my first mistake. Yeah, this life she take. We was both so tipsy. I was screaming out, baby, unzip me, yeah. She was saying, please don't hit me. Baby, I can't breathe, baby, I can't breathe.